A lonely black cat sat shivering in the dark alleyway while the cold winter wind blew very hard. He sniffed around the empty frozen trash cans hoping to find a small piece of food to eat. Thousands of busy people walked past him every single day, but nobody even stopped to look at him. He tried to meow at a man in a suit, but the man just looked away very quickly. Rain started to fall, turning the snow into cold mud, and the cat felt very weak and tired. He curled into a tiny ball and closed his eyes, thinking this would be his very last night. Suddenly, a soft yellow light from a nearby bakery door opened and a warm, sweet smell came out. A kind woman with flour on her apron stepped outside and saw the small shadow in the mud. She did not shoo him away, but instead she whispered words of love and offered a warm biscuit. The cat hesitated for a moment, then walked toward the lady and felt the warmth of her hand. Inside it was warm and smelled like cinnamon and fresh bread, which made the cat feel very safe. The woman used a soft towel to dry his fur and wash away the dirt from the streets. She decided to name him Midnight because he was as dark as the sky but twice as beautiful. Midnight became the bakery's mascot and sat in the window greeting every customer with a very loud purr. A little girl saw him and gave him a soft pet, making Midnight feel like a king today. The girl took a photo and shared it online, telling the story of the cat from the alleyway. People who used to walk past him now came to the bakery just to see the famous Midnight. A rich man saw the story and donated a lot of money to help all other street cats. With the money, they built a warm shelter next to the bakery for every lonely animal in town. Midnight welcomed every new cat with a lick, showing them that kindness had finally changed their fate forever. Every morning, Midnight would help the baker wake up by gently tapping her nose with his soft paw. Sometimes he would jump on the counter and get covered in white flour, looking like a funny ghost. In the afternoon, he slept in the sun near the flour sacks, dreaming of his new wonderful life. The local news station came to film Midnight and the baker for their special evening humanity segment today. The baker told the reporter that a little kindness can save a life and change the entire world. The baker bought Midnight a small toy mouse filled with catnip, and he played for many happy hours. Every morning he would sit on the bakery doorstep waiting for the sun to rise over the city. Midnight loved to watch the baker knead the dough, and sometimes he would leave a tiny paw print. The local librarian invited Midnight to visit the children's reading room to help the kids stay very calm. He found a spot on the highest shelf where he could watch everything happening inside the busy shop. When it rained outside, Midnight would look at the street and remember how far he had finally come. The baker's assistant would secretly give Midnight small pieces of cheese when the baker was not looking now. For the holidays, the baker put a small bed for Midnight in the window display for everyone too. Snow started falling, but this time Midnight was on the warm side of the glass, feeling very safe. A large dog came into the shop and Midnight stood his ground, showing he was a boss here. On his first anniversary, the baker made a special cake out of tuna and shrimp for her friend. One day the baker brought home a tiny ginger kitten and Midnight decided to be a big brother. Midnight taught the kitten how to hunt for toy mice and where the best napping spots were located. They spent the afternoon in the backyard garden chasing butterflies through the rows of bright red summer roses. an artist painted a giant mural of midnight on the side of the bakery for the whole city. The baker went to a school to talk about animal rescue and showed photos of Midnight's amazing journey. Every night they shared a heavy wool blanket that kept them warm while the wind howled outside. Today, a bird feeder was placed outside the window and Midnight spent hours watching the colorful birds fly by. Midnight got a new collar with a tiny silver bell so everyone could hear him coming to say. They sat in the dark shop after it closed feeling the peace of a life well lived together. A big party was held to raise money for the city strays and Midnight was a guest of. Midnight barked or rather meowed loudly to alert the baker when a small child wandered into the busy street. The local police gave Midnight a small ribbon for helping keep the neighborhood safe with his sharp eyes. They took a professional photo together and it hung on the wall of the bakery for many years. Every day started with the same loud purr that reminded the baker why she had opened her heart. More and more people in the city started adopting black cats because they saw how special Midnight was. As he grew older, Midnight became wiser and seemed to understand every word the baker said to him. They dreamed of a world where no animal was ever left alone in the cold, dark city rain. A small stone statue of Midnight was placed in the garden to honor his spirit of true kindness. A gentle stroke on his head was all he ever needed to feel like the king of the world. They watched the sunset from the roof of the bakery feeling thankful for every moment they had shared. The lesson was simple that one act of kindness can change a fate and save a lonely life. Their hearts beat as one, a bond that could never be broken by time or any distance. Now it is your turn to change a life with just a little bit of love and kindness. Thank you for watching Midnight's story and please subscribe to help us share more love with the world.